We've been doing the 21 days of prayer and fasting, except I'm not fasting. But we've been going up to Melwood at 6 a.m.
every dang night.
every morning.
I know, but you know that the lines on the telephone.
What do you mean on the telephone, man? All right.
No. Hang on. There was something I wrote in my notes. It was something you said a couple days ago, and I'm gonna read it right now, and this will be the opener for the episode.
I'm real scared. I don't ever remember what I say.
I wrote it down. It has to be.
Oh no! Oh no!
We were talking about. We were making fun of the memes where like they spell SpongeBob's name wrong.
Yeah.
Or it's like Sponge Bill and whatever.
SpongeBob.
Yeah, SpongeBob is my favorite. But what you said was Sponge Crab and Bear Nuts.
Sponge Crab and Bear Nuts. I did
If
say
I
that.
ever died in a car accident and someone went through my phone, this is all they'd find. All right, everyone, welcome back to Odd Party. There was something I completely missed that I was supposed to do before the room we went in last time. Yeah, so enough about that.
Yeah.
Let's segue.
Sorry, but wana. I wish that was funny to other people.
I don't even know what it's from, but we say it all the time.
You do know. I know exactly what
Is
it's
it from Nacho Libre? That's what I've always assumed. Better.
Kinda.
What is better than Nacho Libre?
Nothing, but it's better in the terms of like it's more funny at the fact that we got this.
What's it from?
A Hispanic man was doing parkour and jumped over a ledge, and his foot hit the railing, and he landed on the ground really harshly, but he bounced, literally bounced. in frozen position.
That's Ecabian.
Oh, it is. Ecabian. And the cameraman went, Ecabian. I think Wena is from another Fail Army video, though.
I've never heard that.
It could be. Where did we get that?
I don't know. Hold on. There's a trick to this that I saw this guy do in the video.
Resting can't climb. You feel me?
Hang on. I need him.
For any and all that of those that care, which I doubt anybody listening to this would care this much about my personal life. However, as most of you should know, tax return season is upon us, and I'm thinking about spending a lot of my tax return, if not all of my tax return, and investing it into my vehicle. I love my car. It's a nice car. But I want to lift it. I want to put some big old wheels on it, and I want to put a roof rack on it and tint it out. Now I have a connection.
You want
at
what?
A nice tint store where I can get it tinted for the best price that I can get it tinted. I'm not stressing about that.
Like tinting the windows?
Yeah. And then I want to get a roof rack, which is only going to be a couple $100s. I'm not stressed about that. Maybe
only a couple hundred.
Maybe like $250 max. I'm really not worried about that. What I'm worried about are these dang tires, because I got to figure out how big I can get them without having to get spacers and or a lift kit. And if I get one of those, that adds on like at least like $300-400, and then plus the time it takes to do it, and then get new tires and wheels and blah blah blah. But I'm excited. I really want to do it. Been wanting to do it, so I've just been waiting till tax return season. However, a recent dilemma has come up to where I could put forth this money into probably a healthier outlet. I've been wanting to do a podcast like forever, and about like, was it like 2 years ago when we went? A year and a half ago? I was in high school. I know that.
Yeah, it was like February 2019.
Okay, so yeah, it was about like 2 years ago. I went
that
to Best
day was
Buy.
Cursed.
It was. I went to Best Buy and I got. So here's my thing. I do graphic design. I do it on an iPad Pro. I use Procreate most of the time. Blah blah blah. You could just. Anyway, so I use an iPad Pro opposed to having a laptop or computer, just because I don't need one. I wasn't going to college. I didn't need to get a laptop, anything like that. But doing a podcast, it would be pretty difficult to plug in two powerful microphones into an iPad. You just can't do that. So I went and got all these different adapters and got these microphones, blah, blah, blah. I spent like $300 in equipment trying to get this to work.
That's so sad.
And I finally get it all hooked up, and it didn't work. I was super upset. I just returned all the stuff and got my money back. I wasn't worried about that. But the point is, now I feel like I'm better equipped for a podcast. I got a better direction for what I want to do with the podcast. So I could spend my tax return and just get super nice equipment. Maybe even get a laptop.
You getting a laptop?
The world would end if I got a laptop. If I got a laptop, the world would know that I have too much power to be. That was a failure.
I did it twice. I'm trying to latch on to that platform.
Latch. But
Link on the platform.
So I'm debating between the two. So if anybody's listening, if anybody cares if this even makes it in the cut, comment below if you think either say Trailhawk or say podcast. That's all I want to know. Trailhawk or podcast.
Oh, like the...
He made it up.
Okay,
he made it up.
The choices.
Yeah, I mean it's my car.
What am I supposed to do next? Oh yeah, I go down the west. Okay, anyway, and now the segue I was gonna give had to do with what happened last night at that church event.
Ruh-roh.
Which I haven't told you yet.
I don't know about it.
I need to set the scene. For context, ladies and gentlemen, as you all know, Brice and I are Christians.
It was a cold winter night.
And for the most part on this channel, even though we act super stupid and as immature as humanly possible, this is a segue into a serious cool thing that happened last night. So we're recording this on the
11th? Oh, it is the 13th.
Yeah. And so last night on the 12th, I've been going to this Christian group with some college people called Ignite. We just go there, hang out, worship, talk. It's pretty nice. I've had this idea for a while on doing a specific type of series on my... It's very hard to talk about this and focus on this at the same time. I've been thinking about doing this idea on my personal channel to make more Christian-themed videos. I don't know what specifically, because, like, I'm no preacher. So I think, like, to start small, I would, like, talk about just, like, Christian books I've read, like Max Lucado, if you all know who that is. And so I've been thinking about that. But then, like, my brain does the excuse where it's like, oh, no, you're not qualified to do that. There's no way. And as I'm thinking that, I go into YouTube, and the first thing I saw was a video uploaded by Southeast Christian Church titled Unqualified to Unleashed. So
Wow.
that was
weird.
thing number one. I was like, oh, my gosh. Hang on, I gotta stay away from this guy. If he would just turn around. And then the second thing that happened, this one's even weirder. This one's even weirder. Is before I was going to Ignite last night, I was debating on going in the first place. Just really wasn't in the mood, and I was just like, I should go because I know the Lord has something waiting for me there. Like, that sounds weird to say on a gaming channel, but that's just how I felt. And so I was like, all right, I'm gonna go, even though I don't really want to. Anyway, so I was like, screw it, I'm gonna go anyway. I'm sure God's got something planned, and oh, he did. That night was a worship night where we just have some acoustic worship jams, and yeah, pretty much. And then at one point we like took a break, and the leader there, Zach, he was like, let's break off into small groups and let's just talk and pray, something like that. One guy came up to me, because you know how I am in social settings, where like I just stand in the corner, look at my phone and stuff. Yeah. So that's what I did. And then a guy came up to me, and he was like, "How's it going, man?" I was like, "I'm doing good. How about you?" And we were talking, and then he goes, "Has God placed something on your heart that you want to talk about?" And I was like, I'm usually not someone to open up. Yeah. Especially around someone I barely know. And then I was like, actually, yes. I've been thinking about making these specific kind of videos for my personal channel, just because, like, I think the world needs it right now because of the state it's in. Yeah. And then I was like, but I don't know, because, like, again, I'm no Billy Graham, I'm no one big. And then this guy whips out his Bible, and he's like, let me show you something. Okay?
What was his name?
He looked a lot like a guy I knew from Southeast named Pablo, but I don't want to say it was him for sure because he was wearing a mask and I don't actually know.
Probably was Pablo.
It probably was, because he looked and sounded just like him.
Yeah, he was like, it's definitely Pablo.
Yeah, but okay, so he was He was like, let me show you something. He gets out his Bible, and he turned it to, I believe, Jeremiah 1:4, which I don't know by heart, unfortunately, but I do have it bookmarked. I'm not going to read it word for word on here, but the gist of it...
I'll pull it up.
Oh, okay, you pull it up. Read this out loud. Listen to how insane it sounds to be applied to my scenario. The context of that is Jeremiah was called to be a prophet at like 13 or something by God, and he was like, I can't do this. I'm too young.
All right.
And then God told him this.
This is an ESV. Should I switch it?
I mean, I read NLT, but you you do as you wish.
Now the word of the Lord came to me, saying, before I formed you in the womb, I knew you. And before you were born, I consecrated you. I appointed you a prophet to the nations. And then I said, Lord God, behold, I do not know how to speak, for I am only a youth. But the Lord said to me, do not say, I am only a youth. For all to whom I send you, you shall go. And whatever I command you, you shall speak. Do not be afraid of them, for I am with you to deliver you, declares the Lord. Then the Lord put out his hand and touched my mouth. And the Lord said to me, behold, I have put my words in your mouth. Pause. I put my words in your mouth. See if I set you this day over nations and over kingdoms, to pluck up and break down, to destroy and to overthrow, to build and to plant.
How insane is that?
Yeah, that's...
He whipped that out like it was nothing. And then just read it to me. I was like, I was so shocked. I was like, oh my gosh.
I knew 4 and 5, but I did not know. I didn't know that's the context of it.
Yeah,
that is crazy though.
The context. I'm glad,
especially like the end part, because when you said like you're like, oh, I feel like the world needs it right now. That's exactly what he said at the end of it.
Oh, I'm in the right place now. Yeah, but like for me, it's more like I'm gonna sound like I don't know what I'm doing. Like I'm afraid of that. I'm not really afraid of testifying or showing my faith. It's more just me trying not to sound like an idiot.
Yeah.
If that makes sense.
Yeah.
I'm not ashamed of God. It's just how can I make it look like I'm in a professional position? I don't know how to word it.
I'm a super like detail-oriented people. I'm a super detail-oriented person, and I notice a lot of things about a lot of different people and just how people work. And that's why like I feel like I'm really good at like improv and like lying and stuff like that. It's just because like yeah, because,
like when we gaslight.
Yeah, just like I mean it's different because it's like audio and it's meant to be exaggerated. But like I could go off on a tangent about something I know nothing about and it sounds somewhat reasonable, just because I know tendencies people have when they talk about something that either they're joking about, that they're passionate about, something that blah blah blah. Like we all have these certain tendencies and stuff. And I've noticed that there's a lot, and I'm not like joking on anybody or making fun of anybody. I'm just saying I notice there's a lot in the church that a lot of people speak and enunciate certain ways at certain points in time. Like it's like they want you to feel something. Like they want you to think that they're a good talker, so they talk just because other good talkers talk like that, or they say certain like filler words to sound smart. I don't know. I mean, it all came from an original place. So originally somebody was doing that unironically or without a side agenda. And I don't think a lot of people intentionally do that. It just comes across that way. But something I've always told myself in anything I do is to just, it's going to sound corny, but be super authentic. So like,
yes.
Like whenever whenever I pray, if it's out loud or it's like just to myself, it's literally like a conversation. I mean, there are times and places, and there are certain times where like the prayer is a lot more intimate rather than just like a conversation. But like it's, for the most part, it's literally like a conversation. Like I laugh in my prayers all the time. Like,
yeah. Like
my prayers are just like that. And so I thought about that too, like with my podcast. And I didn't go in depth about like the topic of the podcast that I'm wanting to make, but it's also like Christian themed. It would have a lot to do with like current events and sports and blah blah blah, just stuff like that. Because me and the potential co-host are just very similar and things like that. But also to be able to like touch on heavy topics and also Christian things and talk about the service, because we both go to the same churches and stuff. Blah blah blah. But I wouldn't want it to come across as a. I've always learned better in ways when it's not set up as like a teacher-student way, when it's more just like an experience or people just thinking things through or talking things through. So it kind of just be like me talking, like I would learn as I'm going, as would the listener, hopefully. So
Whoa.
you saying, oh,
Okay, but
I don't remember.
go on.
But like, and I don't know if this is how you're like planning to go about it. I don't know. But you saying like you didn't feel like, obviously this is not the case anymore, I'm assuming, due to the experience last night, but you didn't feel qualified or anything like that. Like you don't always have to have like a, and I know you know this, it's just reaffirmation. Like you don't always have to have like a PhD on the wall to be whatever. Like I can
Right.
learn the exact same lesson from my dad. I could learn that same lesson from a homeless man. I could learn that lesson from a professor at Boyce or something. I don't know. Like you can learn life lessons. You can learn rational lessons. You can learn and teach
Oh boy.
by actions without saying a single word. And a lot of people relate more to authentic people rather than when a calm piano is playing in the background with a slight snare tap, and then you you have like the ominous silence, and then the what I call the infamous stutter of the like profound speaker, when people stutter to sound smart, which is funny.
That is something I noticed. Now
Yeah, I
that you
know,
say it.
and it's crazy because I don't think those people like do that with the intention of like, oh, I'm gonna fool all these people, but subconsciously you get into this like mindset when you're talking. You're like, oh, I really hope I sound smart right now. Like what's the point in that? Like you're worrying too much about your delivery, and then everything in the middle of that delivery, the context of it all, is just gonna get lost in your delivery. Like, yes, the delivery is important, but I don't know. I kind of just went on about that, but that's
Yeah, I mean,
how I feel.
It's true. Like, yeah, even in the Bible, like most examples, I listened to that sermon by Kyle Idleman, by the way, the Unqualified Unleashed.
Yeah.
And it just explained how, like, most people in the Bible God ended up using, and even to this day, whoa. Whoa.
That was weird. It was slow-mo.
I know. I don't know what happened. Maybe it was my computer. But the people God used, they always thought they were like, this is gonna sound a little narcissistic, but this is the way he said it, is they always felt ordinary.
Yeah.
And like, I'm not saying I'm extraordinary, but
Yeah, I know what you mean.
it's just like the people who were always like, there's no way I can do this. And I mean, like, you got Gideon, you got the Apostle Paul, who literally killed what he became.
Many.
You got Jonah. Oh, dang it, he came back.
How did you just come back?
I have to kill them within a certain amount of time. Oh! Oh my gosh, this is intense. Okay, got it.
That was close.
Anyway, yeah, that's the gist of my my testimony of last night. And when this episode airs, I don't know if I will have already upload. By the way, when I came home last night, I immediately started recording that first video for the Christian series, which as of right now is being called just because I think it sounds cool. But I went home, recorded the pilot episode of that, which is pretty much me explaining what it is and why I'm doing it. And then the next video will be me actually hopefully doing something. But so I recorded that. I don't know if it will be out by the time this video comes out, because I'm still working on, like, you know me with OCD. I got to make templates and intros and outros.
Yeah.
So yeah, I have no idea, but hopefully soon. Hopefully soon we get some videos to encourage people on my personal.
I was talking to Billy, who's the guy I was talking about for the podcast, but I was talking to him about your video idea and the podcast thing and everything. And whenever I was talking about it, and I was talking about the podcast thing, and this relates to your channel as well, because the last thing I said after I told him about the idea, I was like, man, I was like, I mean, it kind of sounds goofy. Like, it's going to be a lot of fun. It's going to be funny. Like, we're kind of just going to be joking around a lot of the time. But also, like, it'll be really encouraging for both of us individually. And I was like, I'm sure, like, somebody out there might might enjoy it. I don't know. And I was like, But I mean, the point is, like, you know, if it helps one person, like, the job was done. Like, you don't need a million people. Obviously, that'd be awesome.
Yeah, no. I don't even expect to get that many to watch it, but if it helps at least someone. I know that sounds cliche. It's like, if it just helps one person. Like,
that's literally like the point of it.
I mean, the more the merrier, but even if it helps one person, that's fine with me. The job was done.
Speaking of YouTube videos and views, there's okay. I'm not gonna give away names or references or anything like this, but I'm just gonna say there's this girl that I know.
Hold on. Do you wanna talk about it in the next episode? 'Cause we're running at like 20 something minutes.
Yeah, we can do that.
Yeah. You know what? I'll end this episode on a cliffhanger. I'm about to shoot this man in the head. So but you will have to see that in the next episode.
That's not Marvin the Martian. It looks like it's Marvin the Martian, but that is not Marvin the Martian.
I don't even want to attempt to do his voice out of secondhand embarrassment.
Please don't.
But thank you all for watching. Like, comment, subscribe. Hope you enjoyed this TED Talk type episode. If y'all want to hear more of it instead of us just acting like complete idiots all the time, by all means, comment if you enjoyed it. Or share with someone you think needs it. Also, subscribe to my personal channel if you want.
It's titled Mike Tyson.
It's Mike Tyson. It's titled Isaac Curtis. It's a profile picture is me looking up with like a vaporwave background. But yeah.